Q106, Michigan's rock station, presents Carlos Mencia.
Rednecks are so authentic to the truth, they reenact a war they lost. And in the reenactment, they still lose.
Carlos Mencia. Saturday, May 3rd at Michigan Theater of Jackson. For tickets, check out the concert calendar. Brought to you by Meat Southern Barbecue and Carnivore Cuisine at Q106FM.com.
Hey, it's Carlos.
How you doing?
I'm doing great now that all my stuff's working. Dude, we have had the worst technical issues in the world this week in Q106 land. The weather knocked out our tower. My IT guy's like, I don't know what happened in the file. Just looks like you got to be kidding me, dude. So, Carlos, let's get right into it, man. And thank you again for your patience as we work through this whole absolute nightmare of tech issues we've had this week. So, brother, we're going to see you at the Michigan Theater of Jackson on Saturday, May 3rd. And you've been traveling all over the country. You're in the East Coast right now, right?
Actually, right now, I'm in a suite in Las Vegas.
Oh, gotcha.
At the Flamingo Hotel, the original hotel where, all of it started. So if you see behind me, those are actual pictures of what we used to consider hot back in the day.
I see that there are some lampshades strategically placed as well. Thank you for keeping this PG.
Yeah. I tried really hard to make sure, bro, that this was somewhat user-friendly for everybody.
Very adult sweet.
Everybody wants you to be their parents now. People,
right.
You know what? Somebody came up to me and asked me, can my kid come to your show? And I said, how old's your kid? And they said 14. And I'm like, no. They're like, well, you can't get him in? I said, have you seen me perform?
Right.
Why would you want a 14-year-old child hearing the things that I talk about and then having to ask you as a parent questions like, hey, Dad, why was he talking about parents being really crappy? Are you a really crappy parent?
Right.
Do you suck as a parent, Mom? Because that's what he was kind of saying. Like, why would you want that? You know what I mean?
Right.
But on the other hand, and you get this all the time because you're over the air, they'll tell you stuff like, there are children listening to your station when they're in the car.
Yep.
And it's like, so now it's my responsibility to raise your kids.
Right.
It's my responsibility to make sure that your kids get, first of all, whatever happened to change the channel? What is this world we live in where, I swear to God, I did a show the other day where I got a standing ovation. Every single person stood up. Every single person. So whoever complained stood up at the show. They probably stood up just to not be the person that got picked on, or you know what I mean? Or the person was like, why did you stand up?
Peer pressure.
But that person actually tried to complain about the show. And the complaint wasn't my problem. My problem was the arrogance, the self-centeredness, the selfishness, the narcissist person who sees everybody having fun. And instead of going, you know what, let me chalk this one up to, not my cup of tea, but I hate sushi, but everybody else seemed to love the sushi. No, this person went, I don't want anybody to ever have sushi again. I hate sushi, and because I hate sushi, we have to go somewhere else. If you're that person, you need to check yourself.
Bro,
if there's 8 people that want to go to a certain place and you're the only that doesn't want to, suck it up, buttercup. You know what I mean? Make a sacrifice. I know your parents raised you and told you that you're never wrong. I know that when your mom made food and you didn't like it, you said, hey, I don't like this. And she made another meal for you, whatever that was. But that's your mom. And by the way, your parents did you wrong by doing that. We had one television when I was growing up. If my parents were watching TV, there was nothing I could do. There was no, Mom, you don't understand. There was no pouting I could do. And it wasn't like my parents just beat me. Like a lot of people would go, oh, did your parents beat you? No, my parents were creative. I remember one time we were at the store called Two Guys, and I wanted Hot Wheels because we had Hot Wheels at the learning center, at school. And so I wanted Hot Wheels. And my parents were like, no, we can't afford Hot Wheels. Plus, they said, no, you get to play the Hot Wheels every day at the school before we pick you up. So just play there. And I swear, bro, I got on the floor and I started doing a temper tantrum, right? On the floor. I'm flailing, I'm flaking. Dude, my father, this old Latino man, right? Well, gets on the floor next to me. and starts going, no, I can't. I want to play. I want to play. No, 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 no. Bro, I got up so fast that
Oh man.
dude, my face just, I was like, dude, what are you doing? And he was like, no, this is my son. And he kept doing it, bro, until I ran away from the aisle. Then he finally catches me and he goes, that's what you look like. That's what you look
That's
like when you do that.
amazing. That
And
that they
little,
did they didn't beat you. They psychologically outwitted you.
no,
That's
no,
what
they beat
happened.
that, but they beat me sometimes when they didn't have enough time. You know, if my father was like, "I'm sorry, but I don't have a mental way to make this better. I'm gonna have to kick your ass." But even then, bro, it was let's put 3 to 5 things at the edge of a bed, and my mother would go, "You're gonna get your ass beat, but I'm a nice mother, so I'm gonna let you choose
Oh
what to
God.
kick your ass with."
That doesn't make it better.
And bro, one time I thought I could get her,
Mm.
and I said, "What about the pillowcase?" Because it was on the bed,
Oh no.
right? And she said, "Oh, you want the pillow?" I said, "Yeah, I want the pillow." And she threw my ass on the bed, grabbed the pillow, and for about 10 to 20 seconds, just enough for me to start getting scared, she smothered my ass with
Jesus, man.
it. Never said that again, brother. But the thing is that nobody knows how to lose anymore. Nobody knows how to lose with grace.
Mm.
Nobody knows how to lose except for, well, I have some friends who are Raider fans. And I say this
That
respectfully, bro. They know how to lose, bro.
right,
They
right,
come to Vegas 4 times a year, no matter what. And every year at the beginning of the season, they're like, dude, we're going to make it to the Super Bowl. And literally 5 games later, they're like, bro, next year. And I go, are you still going to get tickets for next year? And they're like, yes, we come here to have
right.
fun. Win or lose, we gamble a little, we play a little. We come to the parties, we drink, we have fun. It's a good time. It doesn't matter. And they go, and most of the time we know we're not going to win. We get it. We're not
Hmm.
stupid, but it's about the enjoyment of it. It's about the what do you do with it, right? It's about the how do you come back with it. It's about,
Right.
it's about what Michigan's going through. You know what I mean? You went through that, and now what? Where do you go with this? How
Now
do you
you
make
got
it back?
now you got Dan Campbell marching through the playoffs, and yeah, we wish that would have ended a little better for the Lions. But that's the thing. So I'm from Cincinnati, Ohio. So I'm a long
Okay.
suffer. So I'm a
Oh,
long
bro, you've been suffering since wait.
right.
Trump ride broke his leg in the Super Bowl.
Yes.
That's right, bro.
Still to this day, one of the worst sports injuries to ever be televised. So that's why I get along so well with Lions fans here in Michigan. They know football pain like few other franchises, except for the Browns. Browns will have it way worse, but screw them. They're from
Yeah,
Cleveland.
but you guys, you know what? You guys went through Boomer, you guys, and then and now you get to listen to your best receiver do commentary on football, and he's
Yep.
really good at it, man. He's the average guy. He makes it simple.
Right.
But now you guys are still like on the cusp right there. You guys in the Bills, in my opinion, are where Baltimore was. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Just not too long ago. And so yeah, it's about people. People come to comedy shows knowing that there's jokes with thin skin and get offended at a joke at a comedy. Getting offended at a joke at a comedy show is literally like paying for a hooker and then saying, "Why are you touching my penis?" This is ridiculous, bro. It has become and the hypocrisy of if you want to laugh at gay jokes, go to an LGBTQ show where the predominant majority of the audience is LGBTQ and they're F word this, F word that. Oh my
Mm.
God. One guy goes, you know what I hate? I hate guys that are overly gay. Then the next guy is like, hello. And no
Mm.
matter what, they all celebrate it. But if you come to a show of somebody that's not ethnic or not black and not, you can't do that. You know what I mean? And I just disagree with that. This
Mm.
this is not what it's about. I am not supposed to look at a map in this country in 2025 and have somebody ask me or say, "Well, are there Latinos there who's going to come see you perform?" This is what I'm reduced to in 2025
Yeah, it's
to
kind of
have to
whack.
go
Yeah.
to Kalamazoo of all the places in Michigan, because that's the one place that has Latinos left over from when we used to let them come and pick and they didn't go back home. So that's what I'm relegated to.
Hmm.
God forbid I want to go to Ann Arbor. God forbid I want to go with you. Or God forbid I want to do the Michigan theater. Oh no. Now all of a sudden it's like I speak Spanish and I'm like, hola, Carlos Mencia va a estar con ustedes en Michigan. Like I'm tired of this. I'm sick of it. If you want to laugh, then come to see me perform. If you want to laugh in diversity with yourself and with others, that's the trick. As long as when the joke is on you, it's all good. Because one thing I hate, bro, is when I'm doing like jokes about different groups of people or talking about stories of my friends, and all of a sudden I hit the Latino one, and the laughter rises a little above all the others when I'm talking about my black friend and my Asian friend. I stop the show and I go, no. We are not gonna have that in my show. If you're gonna laugh at my mother and my father and their accent and the fact that my dad spells the F word FAHQ, fa, with a Q at the end, you're gonna laugh at that. You're gonna laugh when I talk about you taking me mudding or whatever the story is, or when I was hanging out with my gay friends and they tried to get me drunk enough to see if I would actually dabble in the penis. Those are true stories. And you know what? I tried to get them drunk enough to see if they could dabble in the vag. We were even, so there you go.
Nobody won the bet either time.
Nobody won the bet, dude. We never got drunk enough. We literally ended with going, okay, I'm not drunk enough. And I'm like, me neither. And we were like, well, I guess I'm not gay. And they're like, well, I guess I'm not hetero. And we moved on. But if you're going to laugh at me, then you need to take it when it's on you. And if that's not who you are, then that's cool. Go find some comedian that's going to fit your style and your thing and you're perfect. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to challenge you. I'm going to challenge you to think. I'm going to challenge you to feel. I'm going to challenge what you do. And it's all going to be funny. But it's going to, I'm on my parents. I'm psychologically warfaring you through comedy. It's just the way it is.
I feel like you just discovered your new autobiography title, Psychologically Warfaring Through Comedy. I think that's it.
Dude, that's a great name of the book. But it is true. I mean, look, it's the thing where everybody's a victim. You know what it's like? It's like this guy that's like, an illegal alien took my job. And in my head, I'm like, how bad was your interview?
You're not wrong. Right.
Dude, you lost your job to somebody that can't speak English in Michigan. What did you say in English that made human resources go, do we have the number of that one guy we interviewed that answered none of our questions? That guy happened to be the best applicant. And I'll give you an example of like the way my mind thinks. We were on the road one time and it was 3:00 in the morning, 3:30. We were uber high. Anyway, long story short, we ended up at this McDonald's where when I asked for a chicken sandwich, she said, would you like the creepy chicken? Right? That's how thick her accent was. She said, would you like the creepy chicken? And we all looked at each other like, what? And we were really high. So we were like, they have creepy chicken here at McDonald's? And one of my friend goes, bro, this is the problem. This is why America is against immigrants. They don't come from this country. They come from other countries. They don't learn the language. And now we got to go somewhere else to get food or order in a foreign language so that she could get our order right. And I said, no, you're what's wrong in this country because you think she's the problem. She's not the problem. She's a symptom of a problem. She's not the cold. She's the booger. And he goes, what do you mean? I go, do you want me to tell you who I'm mad at in this situation? And he goes, who? I said, I'm mad at every American that applied for that position to work the drive-thru and was bested by this lady that says creepy chicken. That's who pissed me off. Where was the American that added an S in crispy? Where was that person? Where was the person that, I swear to God, bro, when I asked her, what's the healthiest thing to get on the menu right now? She literally said falafel fish. And we were like, you have falafel fish. And I looked at my friend and I go, do you understand that all the Americans that applied for that job were worse than falafel fish? This is our problem.
I think one thing that cracks me up whenever, and it's almost always a white guy that I hear complaining, oh, they can't even speak the language. I'm like, bro, this lady speaks 2 languages and you got one, bro. I think she's lapping you, my guy.
She knows too, but here's the thing. But then there's the opposite side. Dude, I was in Hoover, Alabama, which is a suburb of Birmingham, Alabama.
Mm.
And we went to this Mexican restaurant called El Sol de mi Tierra. And this woman comes up. She's sitting down by herself, and the waitress comes up to her and she says, I'm going to, and by the way, with an accent, but good vocabulary.
Hmm.
I'm your waitress today. Would you like something to drink? You can, look over your order while I get your drinks. And she goes, oh, hell no. Hell no. You better get somebody that speaks English. So
Wow,
she goes
dude.
like this. Are you sure? She goes, I want to talk to the manager. She goes, the owner of the place, of the establishment is here. Let me go talk to him. What she
Mm.
doesn't know is the owner of the establishment literally just moved here from Mexico. Worse English than her. So he shows up and in
Right.
Spanish goes, ¿Quién es? ¿Quién es la cabrona que quiere? Esta, gua, gua. He couldn't even say what, bro. He goes,
Mm.
gua, gua. And she goes, this is the problem. And bro, this redneck just stands up next to her in a table next to her and it goes, God damn it. You're the kind of person that makes people like us in the South look like goddamn idiots. You're at a Mexican restaurant
Right.
ordering Mexican food. If the woman working here has a Mexican accent, the food is going to be good, you stupid bitch. Pay attention, sit down and eat the goddamn Mexican food. It's delicious here.
Right.
I would try the flautas. And he sat back down. And I was like, oh my God, my
That's a,
hero. I went over there and hugged him.
that's
And I was like,
amazing.
dude, I love you. And he's like, bro, I know who you are. I'm coming to your show tonight. And I was like, even better. You're one of
Right.
my people. Yes.
Right. Right.
It
That's
was
just it,
awesome. It was
man.
awesome. There's the other side too. Some people get it.
Right, exactly, dude. Look, we live in a very abundant country. There's room for everybody here, and there's room for laughter here. Saturday, May 3rd, Michigan's Theater in Jackson. Now, when we chatted before, and sadly that file got eaten by
Yes.
the internet or whatever, you were looking for good spots in Jackson, Michigan. Now, I haven't found a karaoke spot. I've been told that the Crazy Cowboy, that's the
Okay.
spot to hit for cuisine when you're in. And you mentioned that you were Uber high earlier. So walk us through Uber high. What's Uber high?
Okay. Uber high, bro, is when you get. So here's how you get Uber high. You smoke pretty frequently for a period of time.
Okay.
And then what happens is your body begins to get, so for a while I was smoking to go to sleep.
Mm,
Just that. No nothing, no recreational, nothing, just literally right before to go to sleep. But I would require it, pretty often. And so what happened was I built a tolerance for it. Once I built a tolerance for it, I would even wake up groggy and I was like, I can't have this.
mm,
So I stopped for about 6 months. And then 6 months later, I was somewhere. I'm not like, you know what I mean? I'm not like a drug addict or anything. So I was like, oh, my friends are here. Let's get high. And I smoked the same amount that I smoked when I stopped smoking, when I
mm.
had a tolerance. Uber high is when you smoke that much. And I was sitting down going, I'm not going to die. It's okay. I'm just really, really high. This is eventually going to go away if I just calm down. I know everybody's looking at me. I know I'm talking out loud right now. I know that my friends are laughing at me in the wrong way, by the way, but this is all going to be fine. I'm uber high and I'll be okay. Don't do anything. Don't move. Don't make any decisions. Just stay here. I'm uber high. That's uber high,
Okay,
bro.
I was confused. I'm like, was he driving around stoned in an Uber? Like, can you also get Lyft high? Like, what?
Well, but that does apply, by the way. It does
I,
apply Uber high because when you get Uber high, you cannot drive, bro. You cannot
no
drive.
sir, no
Like I
sir.
see all these signs, that say buzz driving or marijuana is under the influence too, and I'm like, see, this is the problem with the advertising that they get a bunch of people that don't know about what they're advertising, and then they put up stuff like, if you smoked weed, that's buzz driving too. And I want to go and paint underneath. If you smoked weed, you'd know that when you smoke weed, you don't want to go anywhere, dumbass.
Right,
Nobody
right.
ever smokes a blunt or a joint or hits some big thing and goes, hey, let's go driving. That's the last thing anybody wants to do. Hell, you could live around the corner, literally on the same block around the corner from a 7-Eleven. I know this, I've been there. And for one whole hour, we were sitting there going, man, I want some nachos from 7-Eleven. Aren't they delicious? bro, and they let you put as much cheese, and then they let you put as much meat in there. Oh, bro, are we gonna go? Not right now, man. Not right now.
We have
It's
more,
too far.
we
It's
have more
just around the
important things on
corner.
the agenda.
Exactly,
Right.
bro. The agenda when you get high is to just veg and chill and stay there. And so, yeah, Uber high can become Uber high.
I think my favorite part of Uber High is okay, so it's you, your homies, you're hanging out, you've had your smoke sesh. There's something on the TV, but then it's like high noon, right? It's like when the sheriff and the bad guy are getting ready to, all right, partner, draw.
Right?
You're just waiting to see who's the first person to get up from the couch because everybody's like, bro, while you're up, would you grab me? Like,
Right, right.
you know,
That's Uber high, bro.
you will
That's
hold
because
your
everybody wants
yeah.
food, but nobody even wants to go to the fridge, bro.
Right. If you gotta use the bathroom, you will hold that until your kidneys are flooding because you don't want to be the one to get up because then you are waitressing for everybody.
Exactly. And yeah, you're not only that, but because you're high, you're in such a happy state of mind that, like, in my smart assness, right? When I'm sober, I would be like, no, get up and get it yourself. But when you're that Uber high, you just go, oh, you guys got me, man. All right,
Right,
whatever.
right. The,
Whatever.
jo-
Dude, the other day I literally went, text me what you want. They're like, you're gonna be in the kitchen. I'm like, it's far. I can't hear you. Just text me your orders, guys. And I'm looking at my phone, bro, going, chips. Okay, well, what kind of chips, guys? Like,
right. It's like, yo, you gotta send me a text because I ain't gonna remember.
I
Like,
no, I'm
there's
not.
a
By the
lot.
time I get to that, I was like, what? Who's even here? Oh man, I'm going to sleep. All of a sudden, I'm in my bed by myself, and my friends are like, hey, where's the food, bro? So,
Right. Joke's
but
on you guys. You asked the highest guy in the room to get it for you. You knew
yeah,
it wasn't gonna
exactly.
end
You guys
well,
made
right?
the mistake, bro. You guys made a decision while Uber high never works
Well,
out.
man, let me tell you, Carlos, we cannot wait to hear more of your stories. Saturday, May 3rd, Jackson's Michigan Theater. Tickets are available now. They're at q106fm.com. Carlos, thank you again for your patience. It looks like the thing actually recorded this time. Hooray.
Beautiful. Anytime you want, man. We'll pick this up and continue with the stories next time.
Sounds good, brother. All right, Carlos, we'll see you, brother. You take care. Safe travels. All right, man?
You too. Appreciate you, brother. Thank you.
You got it. Be well.
Q106, Michigan's rock station, presents Carlos Mencia.
Rednecks are so authentic to the truth, they reenact a war they lost. And in the reenactment, they still lose.
Carlos Mencia. Saturday, May 3rd at Michigan Theater of Jackson. For tickets, check out the concert calendar. Brought to you by Meat Southern Barbecue and Carnivore Cuisine at Q106fm.com.